I don't know if you've noticed this, but there is a massive heat wave that has engulfed most of the northern hemisphere in recent weeks. We have had 18 people die in Phoenix, Arizona alone from extreme heat. We have had other states report heat-related death. 100 million Americans are currently living under a severe heat advisory just in this country. What's happening over in Europe is equally as severe, to the point where the Italian government this week basically had to issue stay-at-home orders for people to avoid the extreme heat. Like, do not go outside unless you absolutely have to. Stay indoors because the heat could kill you. Now, the reason I'm even mentioning that, one, because it's a massive indication that climate change is not approaching. It has barged into our living room and said, here I am, deal with me. But the main reason I'm bringing this up is because according to a new report from Lever News, Republicans in both the House and Senate are pushing legislation that would prevent President Biden and any subsequent future president from declaring a climate emergency and using those emergency powers to move the country away from fossil fuels to renewable energy and other climate-related activities, putting a tax on methane, restricting emissions, all of the things that as a country we need to do. Republicans are saying, how dare you even consider it? Which, by the way, for the record, as far as we know, Biden is not even considering that. He should be. People are dropping dead in the United States because it's so damn hot. If that's not a climate emergency, then I don't know what is. But you got these two a-hole Republican legislators, Representative August Pfluger from Texas and Republican Senator Shelley Capito from West Virginia. So you got an oil state and a coal state. And by the way, both of these individuals, Pfluger especially, heavily invested in fossil fuels, and they've put forth legislation saying, you can't declare a climate emergency. You can't save American lives in the future by taking action against climate change today. The Lever, because they're real journalists and they do an amazing job of reporting, one of my favorite news outlets, by the way, they've reported that this piece of legislation called the Real Emergencies Act, the 7 sponsors in the Senate have received a combined $3.1 million in contributions from fossil fuel industry executives and political action committees over the 2017 to 2022 cycle. The bill's 19 House sponsors have raked in $1.7 million from fossil fuel executives and PACs during the 2021-2022 election cycle. And that's based on information available at Open Secrets. So you got more than $3 million that these folks in the Senate who sponsored the bill have received from fossil fuels. You got $1.7 million from the 19 folks in the House that they've received in just the last 2 years. And that tells you everything you need to know about why these people are doing what they're doing. $3 million is worth more to these people than dozens of lives that have already been lost this summer alone from extreme heat. More people are going to die. More people will die today from extreme heat as these Republicans try to block any action on this whatsoever. And I'm not trying to suggest that if Biden declared a state of emergency and cut fossil fuel production, nobody would die from now on. Okay? We are not going to fix this issue of climate change and extreme heat events overnight. It will take years and years and years and years to get us on that right path. But right now, we are not approaching the right path. We are on the doomsday path, and we just continue to march straight down it. And Republicans want to keep us on that path. Now, to their credit, there have been Democrats in the House and Senate that have, of course, encouraged Biden to use his emergency powers, because that's going to be the only way we're able to change course and get on that right path and fix the problem. There is time to fix the problem. But remember back in 2018, where we got that report that said, hey, we got like 12 years before the worst effects of climate change really become permanent? That was 2018, folks, when that report first came out. It's been 5 years. 5 years of virtual complete inaction on the issue of climate change. And at the time, oh, well, we've got 12 years, we can do this. 5 years have passed. And during some of those years, emissions increased. As I said, climate change is no longer a far-off threat. Climate change is killing people in this country today. It killed people in this country yesterday and the day before. It'll kill people tomorrow. This is climate change. It is here. We can act. But Republicans are trying to make it to where we can't. Thanks for watching, everyone, and well, here comes the awkward part at the end of the video where I ask you to like, comment, and share, and subscribe for more content from Ring of Fire. Also, you should consider becoming a member for some exclusive content and perks, including early access videos and exclusive videos. Check out the link in the description.